Okay, so we've all been there, right? You're hitting the gym, you're putting in the work, but it's like you're stuck in a rut. The scale won't budge. Your mile time's not getting any better.
It's that dreaded plateau everyone talks about.
Exactly. And this deep dive is all about turning those plateaus into launch pads for some serious fitness victories. We're looking at the Sweat Soul Success podcast today.
Yeah, they've got some really interesting approaches to this whole plateau thing.
Yeah.
It's not just about, like, changing up your workout routine. They go deeper. Like, it's a total mindset shift.
It is. I mean, they open with this killer line. A plateau is not a stop sign, it's a launch pad.
Love that.
And then they launch into this story about training for a half marathon. The host hits that wall at mile 8. No matter how hard they push, the pace just wouldn't improve.
Ugh, I feel that. It's like you're stuck in fitness quicksand.
Right. And so instead of like just doing more of the same training, they start incorporating all these things that seem totally unrelated, like sprints, strength training, even yoga.
Whoa, it's like cross-training for your whole life.
Exactly. And guess what? They finally cross that finish line, stronger than ever. Then they hit you with this Einstein quote, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results."
Oof, that's a truth bomb right there. How many of us are guilty of that at the gym? I know I am.
For sure. And that's where their plateau breakthrough blueprint comes in. Their first strategy, switch up the stimulus.
Okay, so instead of just saying, like, try something new, they actually get specific.
Yeah, they talk about this concept of muscle confusion.
Ah, yeah, like our bodies get so used to the same routine.
Exactly. You need to challenge those muscles in totally new ways to break through. They suggest HIIT, high-intensity interval training. It's all about these bursts of intense exercise with short recovery periods.
Oh, I've heard that's amazing for fat burning.
And then there's plyometrics, all about those explosive movements that build power. Think box jumps.
Okay, so not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. But here's what I love. They even suggest trying activities that seem totally unrelated to your main goal, like rock climbing. Yeah. It builds strength and flexibility, but it also works on problem-solving skills. It's a great reminder that fitness is more than just physical strength.
Totally.
Okay, now let's shift gears to their second strategy. Dial into recovery, which honestly I need to hear.
Right.
Because sometimes it's not about pushing harder, it's about recovering smarter. But how do we even know when we're overdoing it?
Good question. Because the podcast really dives into the less obvious signs of overtraining.
Yeah, it's not just about muscle soreness.
Nope. They talk about persistent fatigue, trouble sleeping, even increased irritability.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
It's all about, like, tuning into those subtle cues your body is sending you.
So what about recovery methods? They go way beyond the typical rest day.
Right. They talk about foam rolling to release muscle tension, contrast showers to improve circulation, even Epsom salt baths.
A good old Epsom salt bath. I swear by those.
Right. It's all about giving your body the tools it needs to repair and rebuild, not just from workouts, but from the stress of everyday life, too.
Okay, so their final strategy, setting micro goals. This is where that whole mindset shift really comes in. Instead of focusing on these huge, daunting goals, they break it down into smaller, achievable steps.
Makes sense. It's less overwhelming that way.
Totally. They use this analogy of climbing a mountain. Instead of just fixating on the summit, you focus on reaching the next base camp.
I like that.
Yeah. And you celebrate those small wins along the way, like adding 5 pounds to your squat, shaving 30 seconds off your mile time, finally nailing that pull-up.
Those are the things that keep you motivated.
Absolutely. So what does all this mean for you listening out there? This deep dive is about taking action. Think about one area where you're feeling stuck in your fitness journey. Pick one of these strategies and commit to it for a week. Track your progress, own those choices, and don't be afraid to share your experience.
Remember, plateaus are just signs that you're ready for a breakthrough. They're not the end of the road. They're just a bend in the road.
So true.
The key takeaway here, plateaus are inevitable. It's how we respond to them that determines our success.
Don't settle for the status quo. Embrace change. Listen to your body and celebrate those small victories.
And who knows? You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve.
You got that right.